Hello, folks. Bradley J here, and we're going to Cyprus. Are you ready? This is going to be a video. I've been doing slideshows, but there's going to be a video. I have created the video. It's on my YouTube channel, but what I'm doing is keeping the sound away and going to narrate it live. Cyprus was pretty interesting, and I like telling the stories, and there are stories. I like telling the stories because they keep them fresh in my mind. So are you ready to begin? I'm getting, by the way, better at these presentations. I'm enjoying utilizing the technology. So we're going to share the screen. Share window. I should have had this done ahead of time, but no. I didn't, but here you go. There. Let's make this the complete screen. Not bad. Okay. Are you ready? Here's a little intro that I put on my videos for quite a while, and I kind of regret it. I'm guessing you can't hear anything, and that's good. It'd be bad if you can hear. We don't want that. All right. Let me start right away telling you the story of how I happened to go there. I'll stop here. No, I don't think I need to stop it. I have 10 minutes. I had a guest, John Hughes, who was a writer and an English, very interesting English guy. It was on WBZ, and he'd call in. And one time I said, "Hey, if I go to Cyprus, can I meet up with you?" And he goes, "Yeah, as a matter of fact, you can stay with me and my wife because I have an in-law apartment that's not being used." I said, "Oh, okay." And they lived in the part of Cyprus that's Turkish. It's divided. The northern is Turkish, the bottom is Greek. The Greek part's better, I got to admit. And this town right here, Nicosia, is also a divided town, and I have a soft spot for divided towns. And this is one of the historical sites, sort of a caravanserai kind of place. It's really old, etc. So let me continue telling you the story. And as I see things, I got to stop here. I'll keep interrupting the story because there's John in the middle, and there's two other people, obviously. And this is a hangout in northern Cyprus, in Turkish Cyprus, frequented by the British. And he told me a lot of people live up there because they were there during the war between Turkey and Greece, keeping the peace, I guess. And they stayed or came back. And he tells me it's because the booze is cheap, and it may be something to that. You know, it's a cheap place to retire. The weather's good, and the cost of living is good too. And the other male you see there, was an MP. Not that matters. I shouldn't be, impressed by that, but I guess I am. So that's a nice little bar, open air, dry air. And the story that I have to tell upon arrival is I arrived with hardly any money. I made a mistake at the airport trying to get cash, and I couldn't get any, and I was a fool. I didn't have any cash with me. So I'm going to have to stop this when I get to an interesting point because it's distracting to see the video and tell the story. But I got there with no money. I had a $20 US. That's it. And I couldn't buy small things with a card. Like I couldn't buy the bus fare with a card for some reason. So it was tough. I had enough for the bus, but not all the way, only to Nicosia. I still had to make it the rest of the way. And I had, I don't know, maybe $8.95 left. And I got to Nicosia, and I went to a cab place, and I asked them, how much is it up north? And luckily in Turkish Cyprus, it's cheapo. And I think it was under $10, I got to go the rest of the way. But I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it there that night. And I met John's wife. John's wife met me, and a Russian-run casino, and they didn't want me to take any photos in the Russian-run casino. It's kind of wild and woolly up there. Now, this is John's house. This is where I stayed, and they said, you shouldn't go in the pool at night because sometimes there are big black snakes in there. It was so hot. I sat in that gazebo a lot, and I still got a sunburn even though I was covered by the gazebo. You can tell that look at the blue of the sky. And this is the Greek part. And this is on the way back. Another story is I had a really difficult time finding a hotel. Everything was booked. I tried everything. And then finally, I went right to the beachfront, and there was one available, and it was not a ripoff. It was one of the ones that you see in the back there. It was perfectly fine. There's a view from that hotel later. I'll be honest with you, I was not a big fan of Turkish Cyprus. This is just a restaurant with a cat on it. Nothing fancy. Church, there are churches everywhere. This is what it looks like. What is this here? Oh, this is the nighttime. The last night there in the Greek part of Cyprus. It's kind of Euro beach, I would say. And I've never really experienced Euro beach, but you knew once you got there that's what it was. They had beach volleyball competitions and stuff. This is some ancient, Cyprus is ancient, man. And it's been a key battleground for centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries, and for the Romans, etc. And there's some serious hiking you can do. Again, I wouldn't go back to Turkish Cyprus. I might go back to Greek Cyprus because I didn't spend a lot of time there. This is one exception. This is a port in Turkish Cyprus that was charming, although not as charming as other ports, other places. Like Croatia's more charming. I don't know. This is right. This is some goofy guy and being goofy. It kind of looked like, I don't know, some comedian, right, from the 50s. This is it, right where you cross the border. To get from one side of the city of Nicosia to the other, you have to have a passport. This is this is Turkish Cyprus. I'm riding along with John's wife, catching some landscape. There they are, charming, gracious, wonderful couple. Very, very hospitable. Thank you, John. And I wish I remember your wife's name. I apologize. But so interesting, too. Oh, that guy's got stories. He was in the British military, and he was in charge of, I think he was part of a peacekeeping mission during the war between Greece and Turkey. And from his post, he heard a gunshot, and a couple of his guys went and checked it out. And they went over to one of the sides, and a soldier on one side had fallen asleep on duty, and his commanding officer, had shot him for falling asleep on duty, and they had to go, deal with that. There they go. Okay. Turkish Cyprus is just not very well run. It's kind of run down. It's kind of beat. As you notice, they're driving on the wrong side of the road, I think. Yeah. There they are. This was night number one. Good-looking couple. They took me to a Thai restaurant right by a highway. It was weird because the air is so dry and it's very different, and the vegetation is different. This is crossing the border in Nicosia. This is before I got the the gimbal, so it's kind of bouncy. Passport control to go from one side of the city to the other. And there are a lot of charming restaurants, I'll give you that. But after a while, you get tired of them. This right in here, I sat right on the outside of this building for about 4 hours. That was the best part. And I forgot I smoked a hookah there. I don't think I included that in my hookah tour. I only included 8 destinations. It was okay. Got some calamari, as I always do, and red wine. pretty chill. Very, very hot. Did find this big, beautiful restaurant. This is a restaurant. Nobody there. Lunchtime. Really cheap. You can get whatever you want. I treated myself to like a coffee martini. Something like that. There it is right there. See, I told you I wasn't lying. And like many places, they put those umbrellas on the top. Okay, this was kind of the best part. While I was there, I met a man named Patrick, who worked for the State Department. And he took us out. He took John, his wife, and me out to dinner at this place with a heck of a view. I'm a sucker for this kind of thing. Doesn't this look like ancient Egypt or something? Oh, yeah. Tell me that's not awesome. Oh, yeah. That was great. I'll give him that. I'll give Cyprus that. It actually reminds me a lot of a restaurant in Morocco. Pretty good view. Night lights on the rocks. I was so hot, slathered in sunblock. I mean, you couldn't see it. It wasn't, but it wasn't pleasant. I'm not a big fan of sunblock. I mean, I use it all the time, but it's gooey and I don't like it. And it's really a hassle if you're shooting video because everything you touch is a little greasy because you just put on sunblock and you can get it on the lens. Here's that port that I had mentioned before. Not smooth camera work. Well, that's because I didn't have the gimbal then. This is old days, but you get the idea, don't you? I'm walking as steady as I can. This is Cyprus, people. This is up, and in the north, and this old port. I mean, old. By the way, for more videos, especially more modern ones with the gimbal that are smoother, you can go to the link in the description to my YouTube channel. There are dozens of video, over 100. I'm glad I went, but I don't think I'd return. Here's the honky tonk Greek side, Greek Cyprus. What does it remind me of? I don't know. A little bit of the vibe of, say, the beaches in the south of France, really. Kind of fun. You can just sit here and chill. Touristy, yeah, but not American tourists. It's pretty interesting to go places where you can go, a long time without hearing English spoken. And it's particularly interesting when you're alone. You kind of get used to it. And you might think you'd long to hear people speaking English. Well, I mean, let me tell you. Look at that. Pool tables, open air pool tables. That's pretty sharp. That's pretty nice. Yeah, you might think you would long to hear sounds of English being spoken. No, it depends on who it is. If it's somebody interesting, yeah. If it's somebody not interesting, no. Another hookah place. I can't wait for you to see the room I got, the view. I'm telling you, it was a desperate situation. Kind of. Because every place I checked, no, nothing. Here's the place that had something. Had kind of a beat little, there. It was big as hell. And had a beautiful view. And that's the sun going down. And it had, of course, one channel that had only one channel with English TV in that. When that happens, whatever movie's on, you have to watch it. You do not have a choice. All right, I think we'll wrap it up here. Is there anything else? Nope. Got a really mean cab driver back. He was such a grouchy SOB. I wanted to yell at him, but no. What's the point? And I can't help myself. I love planes and stuff. So let's just watch the takeoff and watch Cyprus in the background. Here we go. Yeah, I was a little, hope there are no weird noises. Hope nothing falls off the plane. Hope the landing gear goes up. Hope everything works. Hope no big birds flying the engine. Are we going to make it up? Rotate. Yeah, almost. Come on. We're running out of runway. There we go. There we go. All of a sudden, things slow down. The jets are whining at this point. Maximum altitude gain. And you hope for the best. Hey, talk to you soon. Bye now.